Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It feels really good to say that. And before I get into the topic of today's video, which is going to be a brief overview of the goals that I have set for this year, a slightly more organized version of the video that of the first video I made, I wanted to tell a quick story because I think it's really important and it helps set the stage for what we're about to talk about. And it's that 7 years ago when I bought my very first camera, I built a makeshift studio in this very garage, in fact, just a few feet over there. And I set it upon myself to film YouTube videos and to film videos for IGTV. And I would come out here for hours and be so meticulous over every single word. And I'd be so scripted and I would do so many takes. And I made a lot of progress as a speaker and talking on camera, but the reality was I didn't see a lot of results from a subscriber or view standpoint. And I felt like it was a total failure, and I eventually gave it up and switched gears and went into wedding photography and videography. But ultimately, it was the time that I spent talking on camera like this that helped me land a job at the Scheduling Institute, which then gave me experience speaking on camera at a very high level and speaking in front of crowds. And I did that job for over 4.5 years. I got to travel to 4 different countries. I spoke to probably 3,500 people over my time there. I probably did close to 1,500 hours of speaking engagements. And it was absolutely incredible. And my point is that you just never know where it's going to take you. And here I am, and I thought I would come film this video in my garage just because it felt really fitting. 1, because I want to turn this back into a studio space, and 2, because this is where my journey began. And so the fact that I can say welcome back to my YouTube channel feels really meaningful to me, and it's really exciting. And my plan this time is to really stick to it, and not because I'm getting a lot of views or seeing a ton of traction, because of the person it's going to make me become. And you just never know what opportunities are going to open up because you decided to stick with something. And it's a good reminder that it's never about the goal itself, but it's about who you become in the process of achieving that goal. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's really exciting. And again, today I want to talk about some of the goals that I have set for this year. I think it's really important. And it really feeds into that third rule of success, which is the commitment to iterate. And you can't improve something that doesn't exist. And so the fact that I'm back and filming a second YouTube video gives me a chance to iterate on what I did the first time. And being willing to iterate and improve and grow and enhance what you did before is what takes your work to the next level. It's what improves the standard. And yeah, if you don't show up, then you can never iterate. So remember, 3 rules for success. I think they're just important to go over again. The courage to start, the willingness to look foolish, and the commitment to iterate. That third one I'm kind of working on refining, but I think it's really important. So without further ado, here are the goals that I have set for this year, starting with my number 1 goal is to expand and grow my personal brand, probably to refine, expand, and grow my personal brand. I think that we all have a personal brand, and it's really important that I want to be intentional with what that is. And yeah, that's sort of where all of the other goals are going to fall under that number 1 goal, which is to expand and grow it. Number 2, be consistent with my YouTube channel. So like I said, that's what I'm doing here today, and I'll get into that more, but the goal is going to be to build out a little studio space. That way I can come in, put the camera on, hit record, and I don't have to think much about it. I want to eliminate the friction between me and making that video. Number 3, to improve my environment. Pretty vague, but overall my living environment is very cluttered. It's very dirty right now. I have 3 dogs and a cat, and so that creates a lot of dirt everywhere. And I've just generally done a bad job of keeping things organized and decorated well. So it's time to improve my living environment so that it supports the person and goals that I want to achieve. Number 4, I want to sell my art. I think this is going to help me go to the next level as an artist. I'm going to primarily focus on selling my photography at first and selling prints. I know a gentleman who does this, who I believe will be a good mentor in this space, and I'm really excited to put my work out there and let other people benefit from the way that photography has inspired me over the years. Some of my favorite trips and best memories have come from seeing a photograph on somebody else's Instagram page or on the wall and saying, I want to go there, I want to take that photo, or I want to see that place for myself. And then a whole trip gets planned around that. And so I want to sell my art, not only because I want to put myself in a place where I can experience and confront that judgment, but also because I believe that it can truly inspire people to create some amazing experiences in their life. The next one is to get into the best shape of my life. And again, I'm going to define that by several different metrics. One of them is a blood panel. The next one is a body fat percentage. And then the last one is going to be a running goal that I've had for many years now. And I'm going to get very serious about actually executing on it this year. Next up, we have launch a backpack brand. I said brand, really it's just, you can call it a company, you can call it a prototype, whatever you want to call it. But I'm in the process of building a hiking day pack / camera bag, and I'm really excited about it. And I want to launch that. And I don't know if it's going to end up in REI or just on a Kickstarter campaign, or maybe it just ends up as a prototype that lives in my closet. But the goal is to get that launched and out in the world so other people can give me feedback. It's been a very fun process just designing the bag itself, as well as the logo, and taking it to the next level and actually creating a brand. The next one is going to be, again, pretty vague here, but I'll refine it a little bit, but it's to collaborate with brands. I want to do photography and videography for brands. If you were to ask me what my dream job title would be by the end of the year, it would be to be a creative director or producer, somebody who is doing strategy, but also doing some creative elements for the brand. And so I want to collaborate with at least 5 brands this year. Doesn't necessarily have to be paid, but yeah. And then the last one is to complete the photography for for the coffee table book that I want to create, called Way Down Yonder, which is going to be a photography book about Georgia's wildest places. Now, my goal with this YouTube channel, at least initially, was to document or create videos around each of these goals. And it's not going to be one video per goal. It's probably going to be multiple videos going through the process of how I actually achieve each of these goals. It's going to be a journey. No doubt it's going to be difficult finding time to film, to edit, and to do all of this. But it's one I'm actually excited about, and I just can't wait to do. And a big part about this is just having it on film so that future me can come back and watch this. I know that I always enjoy going back and watching those early videos I made in my studio here in the garage, just to see how far I've grown and come as a person. And so I think it will be fun to do that again in this version. So if you're watching still, thank you so much. Consider liking, subscribing, and following along on the journey. But this is the beginning of my YouTube channel, and I'm so excited to be here. So welcome back to video number 2 of my YouTube channel. Again, I think I'm going to call it Dare to Live. So until I see you again, dare to live and have a great week.